You fit in perfectly. I want you to know that.
What do you mean?
Just wearing all black.
Oh. What, into the couch? I fit in perfectly to the couch.
That's true.
I don't know.
Hencley or Hendy? Hendy Dur?
Look at how much clearance my car has.
What?
Is it
Clearance?
Is that a D?
Handy Dur?
Is that a D?
Is it a double D? Handy Dur?
Hendy Dur.
I don't know.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Alex from Fitment Industries, and we have a special guest here today. The one, the only, the famous-ish, the man, the myth, the legend,
I wouldn't go that far.
Bill from Cosmos Racing.
Almost said it right.
What is it actually?
Cosmos.
Cosmos.
Yes.
Perfect. And we're doing an episode of This or That with Bill.
How
Bill,
exci-
you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Are you
Shoot.
sure?
Yep, go for it.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe if you want wheel start suspension, fitmentindustries.com. And if you want your question in the next episode, drop a comment below whether we would go with this or whether we would go with that. Gels, hit us with question number 1.
So the first question comes from Hadena Gang.
Okay.
And he asks, brand new supercar or old 80s, 90s car, and you can spend the price difference on mods.
993 turbo, hands down. Although they probably cost
I love
just
you.
as much, if not more, than a current supercar.
I love you so much. That answer is, it's so perfect. Because like, I would say, we talked about it before where it was like stock for stock, and I said new supercar, because there's a reason that they're $1 million and they're incredible and they're fancy and they have all this tech. But when you say like, oh, you could also have mods, 993 turbo, absolutely. And you don't have to worry about depreciation. Second question.
All right, so Jonathan Cocking asks, luxury sports
sorry.
car
Don't
or
laugh.
hardcore
That's
sports car?
inappropriate. So I've had the hardcore-ish sports car, which sounds
you
really
have.
cocky. It sounds cocky, and I don't mean it to be that way. But like the no AC, the no like sound deadening material, the exhaust right underneath your ass, the transmission tunnel that's like 3 inches away from your from your knee that's just heating up, all of that. Like it's cool, but it's not fun. Like unless you're like out on the track doing some crazy stuff where you don't really care because you're more about the experience of driving it. I don't think like daily driving a car like that is any fun at all whatsoever. I would say luxury interior.
I would have to agree with Alex, for sure. I'd much rather drive around a brand new, like, Maserati coupe.
Oh yeah, something comfortable. Like
Yeah,
even like
yeah.
the new Mercedes and stuff like that. They got the white double stitched interior. It's all comfortable. You got air conditioned seats. Like why wouldn't you want that?
Right.
What do
Instead
you?
of
Yeah, I don't.
tracked out Honda
I
Civic.
like my back. Thank you very much.
Bouncing around.
So moving on to the next question, Grip Cat asks, rally-inspired street build or track-inspired show build?
I'll let you answer first.
I would much rather race the car, just because if I'm gonna dump that much money into a car, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, I think it's a great question because it can be spun both ways.
Yeah.
Because if you're making a rally car and you're not taking it on a rally route and you're not doing anything off-road, then you're no different than the person that's building a car that looks like a track car for show purposes.
Right.
It's an aesthetic look from a different group to something that's not applicable anymore because you're not using it for its intended purpose. So like I feel like you could catch a little for saying, I'd rather have a show car that looks like a track car, but is that any different than saying I would rather have a rally car, but it's only done on like the track or only done on the street, I'm sorry.
Right, yeah, no, I would need to track it.
Yeah, I would probably say if we're only going for looks, I think there are some rally cars that look absolutely killer. Safari RS. But in terms of like the functionality and practicality of having one of those every day, I'd probably go with like a show car that looks like a track car. I don't know why, I think it would just be because I think the mud and gritty look of it is only good for so long. And I think
Right.
like the tracky, showish style stuff is always a little bit more fun. There's a little bit more options.
I'd have to agree with
Yeah,
Alex.
it's tough.
All right, so Ignacia Salas wants to know 90s JDM or 60s American Muscle?
90s JDM, just because that's
Boo.
pretty much all
Boo!
I've been messing
I'm
with.
sorry, go ahead.
It's all right.
Go ahead. No,
Although
no,
I do like old Euro cars too.
that's not even an option.
I
You
know,
didn't even put that
I
in the
know,
question.
I know.
It's this or that. It's not this, that, or maybe this.
It could be. Maybe I'm changing up
a
the
third
show.
option. I think it's tough. I don't know. 60s muscle cars are pretty iconic. Like they don't they don't age badly. Look at like a late 60s Mustang. You know, you look at one, John Wick, straight stock pretty much is what it looks like. They still sound good. They still look really good. Next question.
Dev P wants to know if you'd rather buy a cheap, ugly car and make it as badass as possible, or buy a beautiful but pricey car and leave it bone stock.
What would you do? What would you do, Bill, from Cosmos Racing?
I would buy a cheap car and dump a ton of money into it because it's just way more fun. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if you buy a really nice car, this is all theoretical, of course, but if you buy a nice car that's already done, probably get bored with it within about a week.
Yeah, I agree with Bill on this one. I would say that it's more fun to take ugly cars and make them as badass as possible, because I've owned ugly cars. I own ugly cars. I'm a fan of weird, quirky cars. I always have been, and that's just how you look at like the most like beloved and hated generation of car right there. But like, it's fun. Like, they're just they're fun platforms to work with, because everybody always remembers the stuff that everybody loves. But when you take something that not everybody loves and you turn it into something cool, I think it's fun.
I agree. Except, we need to stop the death carts. Stop.
Stop the death carts.
Yes.
Stop the death carts. New shirt design.
So then the last question we have is from Hendy Durr 876, and they want to know Volkswagen Beetle or Volkswagen Scirocco.
What would you go with? Let's turn this around on you.
Oh, I think if we're looking at Scirocco, I don't know how old Siroccos are. I know they're new.
Were they
now.
even here in the
No.
States?
I would say Scirocco, and I think just for the sole fact that they're different. I am a massive fan of Volkswagen Beetles. That's why I own 2 of them. But like,
I did not know that. Learn something new every day.
I love Beetles because they're so, like, they're nifty. I don't know how else to explain it. People get mad at me because I use weird terminology to define cars.
And
but
you
like,
say things weird.
yeah, but like O'Day, which is odd, which I didn't know. A couple things that I'm not learning. Apparently, my colloquial language is not as good as I thought it was. Like, bugs are cool. Older bugs are even cooler, because you lay frame, you go wide, you put the air conditioning unit on the side, like you got the little lunch tray thing, you can go right-hand drive with it, it's super easy to do. You can do anything on those cars to like minimal to no cost. They're extremely easy to work on. They're like a Lego. And it's so many people that run them. One of my friends, Jose Fuentes, had one in Milwaukee, and I loved it. And it's still one of my favorite cars to date. I think a Scirocco takes the place of the Bug, because in the newer generation, I don't like the newer generation of Bugs as much as the Scirocco.
That's fair. And I mean, it's very similar to like a GTI or something. And your Legos description of the old Beetle is perfect, because it really is. And the motor is like this big.
Yeah. Is that it? So that is all the questions. Bill, thank you so much for coming on. It was a great time.
Thanks
to
for
have
having
you.
me.
Are you excited for the ping pong tournament?
I am. You guys better tune in.
Low-key, who do you think's gonna win? You can
Is
remain
there
neutral
drinking
on this.
involved?
Yeah, maybe a beer or 2, 3, 5.
You'll win,
Oh.
for sure.
Well, all right, cool. Well, I'm Alex from Fitment Industries. Don't forget to drop your comment on what you want us to talk about next episode. And if you guys are interested, check out Cosmos Racing Wheels at fitmentindustries.com as our boys, and all that good stuff. It's good to have you up here. Glad you came up when it was negative 50 degrees.
I know, that's the best part of this whole trip.
So don't forget to subscribe. We will see you later. Peace.
Cool.